Well, thank you very much. It's really an honor and a privilege to be here in the Kingdom at the 9th FII and see the wonderful things that have already happened in this Kingdom recently and the things that are happening right now and into the future. I'm really pleased to be able to tell you a little bit about the next and final wave in computing, which is quantum computing, which in and of itself is profoundly impactful, and also to tell you a little bit about how it will interact with the AI revolution that's already underway.
It was automatic.
I think it's
illustrious guests might have operated the handle as well as Charles Babbage,
Charles
Lyle.
fair to say that there's some audio associated with this video that we hopefully will be spared in a moment. I'll talk over it for the time being. Conventional computing, I think it's fair to say, has changed the world and changed our lives in more profound ways than anything else that humans have developed. We have long taken this technology for granted, and it underpins every aspect of our lives, society, and economy. And right now, we are at the beginning of an AI revolution, which is hugely ambitious. And I think this example here of a Manhattan-scale AI supercomputer typifies the scale of the ambition. It also speaks to some of the concerns that we have about finding the land to build these systems. And we've had discussions throughout this week about the power consumption of these systems, which is growing extremely rapidly. And then finally, we're conscious of the fact that AI is only as good as the data that we feed it with. And in the case of large language models, we see projections that we will soon run out of data. And so consequently, this week, and indeed globally, we're starting to hear a lot about quantum computing. And for many of you, this might look like a particularly exotic, science fiction-like technology, but I'm happy to tell you today that it's not, that not to worry about those details and to focus on the fact that it is coming very soon, and that it is destined to have a very huge impact. And to understand why that impact is so profound, it's the case that until we have quantum computing, we won't be able to gain full mastery over chemistry, physics, materials, and mathematics. And so whether it's the design of new life-saving drugs, new fuels, new energy production systems, new ways of engaging in financial markets, materials, semiconductors, we are set to have a revolution of profound magnitude across every existing industry. I want to highlight just one industry, which is the pharmaceutical industry, and this is Arum's law, which is Moore's law spelt backwards, and it shows how the time to develop a new drug and the cost to develop a new drug is going in a very bad direction. It's costing a lot more, it's taking a lot more time to do that. And a big part of the reason for this very unfavorable situation is that we can't simulate those drug molecules nor the molecules in our body that they interact with. So we have drugs that we have been using for decades that we don't understand how they work. To give you one specific example, this is the P450 enzyme, which is an enzyme in all of our bodies, which is responsible for metabolizing something like 75% of all therapeutic drugs. And we have no idea how it works. We have no idea how it metabolizes those drugs. And you can imagine how problematic that is for drug discovery And the reason that we don't understand how it functions is because it would take something like 10 to the power of 100 years to simulate that enzyme on a state-of-the-art conventional computer. 10 to the 100 years is many, 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 many ages of the universe, and you can otherwise just think of that as being impossible. And by contrast, on a quantum computer, you could do that in just a matter of minutes. And that's just one example of a fact of science, which is that conventional computing is only able to address a subset of computational problems that quantum computing can address. Now, we are very excited that AI is rapidly saturating the problems that conventional computing can address, and we're also rightly very excited that imminently we will have quantum computing that will enable us to address hugely important problems beyond what conventional computing can address. These two technologies, quantum computing and AI, will work beautifully in tandem with one another. And to give you a flavor of that, AI is very good at taking huge amounts of data and generating approximate answers, whereas quantum computers don't take data, they do exact, from first principles calculations. And so in this instance here, you can see that you could use a quantum computer to give you exact first principles data on molecules or materials or whatever it is. You could feed those results into an AI, which could make predictions about other molecules or materials that might have even more favorable properties, and then you can check that prediction with your quantum computer. So highly synergistic technologies working alongside each other. And then I think, very interestingly, at the technology platform level, these technologies are already benefiting one another. So for example, quantum computing has already led to highly advanced photonic technologies for optical switching and for wiring up conventional computers, including AI data centers. And this trend will continue as we push the limits of the technology in both domains. And I think it's worth looking at the trend over the last 15 years. If we look at the most valuable companies today, they are dominated by computing companies. So already what we're seeing is that the extreme value creation is at the limits of technology and science and what is possible. And this is a trend that is going to continue and accelerate with quantum computing. As these quantum computing systems arrive, these utility scale systems that have these profound impacts, we're going to start to see the limits of our capabilities across energy, finance, healthcare be vastly exceeded. We're going to see huge value created, and it's my personal belief that we will look back on our pre-quantum computing world and we will wonder, how on earth did we survive, never mind sustain a population of many billions of people with those primitive caveman tools that we were using back then? Thank you very much.